A combination of drugs touted by U.S. President Donald Trump as an extremely successful COVID-19 treatment increases the chances of death among patients by 27%, or a study has found. It's almost like Trump isn't a doctor, and since he doesn't listen to medical professionals either, he shouldn't be taken seriously in such matters. I guess extremely successful is dependent on your desired outcome. The question is, who do we believe? A. Donald Trump, an imbecile to say the least, who is at war with Big Pharma. B. The research this article is referring to, which was essentially a review of 29 other research papers, some of which may or may not have used data from questionable sources, https://www. sciencemag.org/news/2020/06/2 Elite medical journals retract coronavirus papers over data integrity questions. C. Anthony Fauci, an immunologist and one of the world's leading experts in infectious diseases, whose voice is increasingly being unheard. D. This article, which did not have the decency to link to the actual article it was citing. E. Stella Immanuel, who preaches about a 100% recovery rate, and can also exorcise you. F. Big Pharma, who have evidently treated your pain, in exchange for an arm and a leg, and the rest of your life. G. Op, who has shared an article which covered 80% of my screen with ads. Trump's people are the ones who believe 0.00000000001% at winning the lotto is a good odd. 27% is the holy grail. Time to swallow some bleach aid, that means there's a 73% chance you won't die. Tremendous numbers. Among the 29 articles, 3 were randomized controlled trials, RCT, 1 was a non-randomized trial, and 25 were observational studies, including 10 with a critical risk of bias and 15 with a serious or moderate risk of bias, after excluding studies with critical risk of bias. 15/19 of the studied articles were observational studies with serious or moderate risk of bias. The sicker you are, the more treatment you get and the more likely you are to die, and they couldn't control for that effect with their chosen data set. The data also looks much less impressive in table form, https://imager.com/tsak1km, than the news article implied. If 10 years ago you were told that during the midst of the worst global pandemic in over a century, Americans would rely on the guidance of Donald Trump to see us through the crisis, you'd laugh and say we are all dead. Look where we are now. Trump has been a failure his entire life. Everything he touches turns to shit and he moves on unpunished. He trumpeted COVID as a hoax for months, and now at the RNC they say he's been on this since January. I'm so sick of idiocy being the new norm. Trump and his people are morons and should not be tolerated anymore. Enough. Hydroxychloroquine is traditionally used to treat rheumatic diseases. That's its secondary application. Its original use is an anti-malaria drug and it's still used for that. It was discovered that it helps with some rheumatic diseases and it's heavily used for that purpose now, but at a lower dose than is used for malaria. The way it's stated in the article seems intentionally misleading, like it's a totally off-the-wall idea to use a rheumatic drug on a virus. People who think that 27% increase in chance of death is 27% chance of death. It would be nice to have links to these articles they talk about, but I guess that is too much work for modern journalism. This is why that when a real legitimate vaccine is developed, getting the US government to acknowledge it will be a shit show. They are going to politicize the vaccine just like they did the virus and wearing masks. Every step of dealing with this virus has been a complete disaster with this country, and I don't expect it to stop when a vaccine is created. The rest of the world will have a legit cure, but we in America will have some unproven treatment that the government says is good, but yet it doesn't cure anything and makes people more sick. I ain't got COVID no more, dead guy. How about you fucking idiots listen to your doctor? Don't listen to Trump. Don't listen to fake journalists. Don't listen to randos on the internet. Listen to your doctor. I'll let Yago do the honors. https://www. YouTube.com/watch, v equals WXLHYX4QKI. Can't catch COVID if you're dead. Removed. Why is there no info on the study itself? Also, why doesn't anyone mention that the WHO shut down its HCQ studies due to a faulty fake study and report written by charlatans? The Guardian did a whole write-up on the scandal. This comes after a recent Belgium study with 8,000 patients showed significant mortality reduction in patients treated with HCQ early. If you cherry-pick bad studies using late-stage, lethally ill patients like they did in the recovery study and give them massive overdoses, then you just proved overdosing kills patients. 6 of the 12 members of the British MHRA, the regulatory body for drugs in UK, own stocks in COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca. This is one giant fucked up medical malpractice, and the media is fucking too incompetent to actually fact check those study claims. Stop reading those badly researched news pieces and start reading the study papers yourself. Gilead has become quite proficient in releasing those fake meta-studies. They must have quite a few of them lined up for release every time a positive real-world study shows HCQ works. Removed. What kind of legitimate scientists claim that their research is definitive and any other research on the topic is bunk? It's an upgrade from oral bleach ingestion treatment, so have some hope. Things are looking up. Removed. A study has found. Brought to you by a specialist, an expert, and of course, that random doctor nobody heard about until now. People are Trump supporters. BC The broken education system has ensured they have a lower IQ than him and think he's a genius that's telling it like it is and hurting all the Dems' feelings or something along those lines. Anyone who actually listens to Trump already has had their life expectancy decreased by 27% LOL, and he should take his own suggestions if he's gonna flippantly throw out recommendations like that. Like clockwork, the God of the gaps arguments start popping in. Sure, you showed it's useless under A, B, and C circumstances, and harmful under X, Y, and Z circumstances, and it's bad in isolation and in combination with each of these other treatments, but have you tried it on anorexic people with UV light stuck up their asses who are guzzling Gatorade under the full moon? It's bad science to say it doesn't work if you haven't tested it under each and every hyper-specific condition I can dream up. I'm curious about the starting health of those studied. I haven't the time to read more into it now. Also, wasn't zinc a key component to the alleged success? Well, yeah, of course the treatment is going to be successful in getting rid of the COVID-19 because when the host dies so does the virus. Why use drugs if you can just let the light into the body? Trough the skin or in some other way. It won't matter. He made the claim and he'll just double down on it because he has a captive audience who don't trust anything that doesn't come from his cunting mouth. I think if you actually read the study you'll at least be less excitable one way or the other about hearing the word hydroxychloroquine. It alone wasn't associated W increased morbidity and the study is correlative. Additionally, the article points out that overall HCQ was benign on its own as far as symptomatic response to COVID and/or produced inconsistent results in trials aimed at directly testing effectiveness at killing the virus. The study is worth noting and provides a valuable reference for further research. Obviously HCQ isn't a miracle nor lethal. Anyone else notice this is a Russian website? I don't personally believe the Cheeto in charge, and the peer-reviewed articles I've seen basically dispel any belief I would ever have in hydroxychloroquine, but I also know Russia and China are both trying to sway political beliefs currently. Just saying, use more than one source. So how the fuck wouldn't anyone be morally responsible for this? Surely free speech has to somewhere have consequences.